Nat, how would you describe Rachel in one sentence?
I would describe you as loyal, caring, generous, strong, and that's all I've got for you.
Okay.
That's where it stops.
That'll do me. Why? No, I'm joking. You don't have to boost my ego.
Do you want me to write you a book?
No. Okay. So, for anyone that doesn't know, by the way, this is Nat. This is my best friend. So, question for you then. What is your favourite and least favourite exercise?
Favourite currently for me, running, I'd say. Least favourite exercise, it's got to be a burpee, hasn't it? It's got to just be a burpee, is what I'm going to say. But yeah, running's favourite, burpee, least favourite for sure.
What is it about running? Because, so we've got a lot of clients right now that are like, running. Heather is leading that by example.
The running queen.
Yeah, the machine. What is it about running for you?
I think it's the mental headspace that you get from running, as opposed to when you're going to the gym. Obviously it's good to reach different targets, but for me the accomplishment of kind of reaching a PB and running is much more. So I think it's just getting the thrill off of doing that, I guess, and like enjoying it, and yeah, loving it. So, which is different for me because I never thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Literally, I remember when you started running at the start of the year and you were like...
I ran for a minute and I was like...
Yeah.
But it just shows that you can do it. I used to look at people, well, like Heather, like I look at Heather now and I think, God, I'm running queen. But like one day, if you just keep trying that, you will get there. So I think it's just sticking at it and knowing that you can do it. But yeah, will there be any upcoming career opportunities in Level Up?
It's just mad, isn't it? That's so mad. So me and Nat actually... We didn't meet that long ago, did we? Even though we knew who each other were, but we met in 2019 when I joined the gym group. Yeah, I started working at the gym group. Yeah. And like I just think back to then, like Level Up wasn't even a thing. You obviously had your own business. You were PTing, I was PTing, we were just PTing. Like we were just trying to make a living. And then now it's in a position where you work for Level Up, Heather does, Abby does, there's 4 of us, and now other people are asking.
I always remember as well, I was thinking this, how at the gym group we did, I don't know if you remember this, we had we all sat in a circle, we went round and said our goals. I'm not sure if you remember this, but you had a screensaver on your phone, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it said like get to a £75,000 business. It was something about money. And I remember at the time, everyone was like, myself included, was a bit like, all right. Like, but if you can look back now on that, it's like crazy. Because at the time, like I said, everyone was like, all right, calm down. But like, it's crazy because you literally had that on your like phone. It's weird. And now like it's blown up so much. It is crazy.
I don't even remember that.
You had like a thing and you read it out and I remember everyone was like, all right.
Who is she?
Yeah, what do you think?
Who's this new girl? Get back in your box. Yeah, I think like I do remember I used to have like different screensavers before my niece came along. Yeah, before my niece was the most important person, and it was like all the different quotes, and that's actually so mad that you remember that.
Yeah, I remember it really well because we went around and all said like everyone else was saying like the classic 20 clients a week and all that, and then you read out this figure and we were all like, all right. Which was mad.
Who are you?
It was mad.
What would you tell your 16-year-old self if you could go back?
Oh God, what's that, 11 years ago? I would tell myself to not sweat the small stuff, honestly, and it sounds really stupid and cliche and stupid, but not to fret about like all these boys back in the day, jobs that you don't like, because you fast forward to now and it's so irrelevant. Like all of that stuff that happened to me when I was 16 just like it doesn't matter now. So if I could go back and tell her, I'd just say just enjoy life because it literally flies. And when you're younger, people say that, don't they? Like, oh, time goes so quick, and you're like, yeah, right, like who are you? But it's true. Like now I'm like 27, I've got a baby, like I've got a house, and it's just like, whoa, how's that escalated between 16 and now? What about you? What would you tell your 16-year-old self?
I can't even think what I was doing. Where was I? College? No, I did AS levels, and I was like, within 3 weeks of starting A levels, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And they were like, you can't drop out. Brilliant. So I did a year. Oh, it was just like one of those years where I just felt so helpless. Like not helpless as in a sense of not helping other people, but just myself.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing in my life? Seeing like loads of people that I knew at college, like loving it, wanting to be in the netball academy, etc. And I just thought, where am I actually going? Like, I just remember it being such a weird point where I was so stuck.
But I think a lot of people who are 16 now, if they're listening, would feel the same. Like you feel, because at 16, it's that really in-between age, isn't it? Where you're looking at all these like 18-year-olds and you're like, I want to be like you so bad. But like at the same time, but that gap between 16 and 18, just fully enjoy it and just grab life and say yes to things and don't, skimp out on things.
Yeah.
What can this person eat instead of chocolate that will fill the cravings? They say they have a bag per night. What would your advice be on that?
So I think when it comes to cravings, when it comes to like things that you're struggling with, whether it's nutrition, or let's talk nutrition, for example. So the problem isn't always what you think is the problem. The problem tends to be what you do around the problem. So look at your day, like what you're having in the day, because 9 times out of 10 you're probably stuffing your face with chocolate because you've not filled yourself up on nutritious foods throughout the day. It gets to the evening and then you think, oh my god, I'm ravenous, go to the cupboard, find whatever's there and just let yourself loose.
Go crazy.
Yeah, just go crazy. Whereas if your day was like structured, if you had protein, if you had high quality food throughout the day, I guarantee you might still want a bit of chocolate, but like
not as near
yeah,
as much.
not as much. And I can say that from experience because I'm a chocolate girl and
a
pick a mixed girl as well. That's my fave. You're a chocolate girl as well.
Yeah, I think for me I obviously don't know what this person's circumstances are, but I'm a very all or nothing person in the sense of, especially with chocolate, I have a very strong, I don't know if this is the right description, but I have a very strong internal dialogue of food. So I'll sit there and my brain's like, chocolate. And I know there's chocolate there. And it's just, it is a learning process of switching that off and not being sat there every evening thinking, got chocolate in the cupboard, because it's just silly. Like now I'm away from that. The progress that I've made from then to now is just unbelievable because I don't sit there now. I can actually have like chocolate bars in the cupboard and not going 8-10 at once. Like it's about just transitioning between you need something to like actually no, I don't, like calm down, don't need that, and just going from there as opposed to like just eating everything in the cupboard because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think you're like, I've seen the change in you over the past year or since you had Cruise, and like you've added more to your life, not taken more away from your life, haven't you? And that's what a lot of people fall down on, is they think you got to remove the chocolate.
And I also think it's it sounds really stupid, but I look at my wellness journey, fitness journey as one day at a time. For me, I'm one of those people that if I think about, right, I want to lose X amount of weight in a year, I am so overwhelmed. Like thinking about that as a year, like takes my breath away with like anxiety, like, oh my God, I can't, that's a long time to be doing this. Whereas if I think, right, tomorrow I'm going to reach my goals, tick, the next day. And that's such a good process for me because I know I can do that. That's achievable for me. Whereas, like I said, if I go, right, in a year's time, I'm going to be my goal weight, I would have achieved everything. You can bet your bottom dollar that I'm not going to have made it because after a week I'll be like, no more, I'm stressed, I won't be able to do it. So that's like an important thing for me. What advice would you give to somebody wanting to pursue something like what you do? What would you tell them?
Just go all in. Like, you'll know this, like my closest friends will know this, my clients will know this. I'm very much like, if you want something, you need to go after it. And I think, especially social media nowadays, you see like all these reels and stuff on Instagram and TikTok where it's like, oh, rest and do this. And like, I obviously you need to take care of yourself, but I don't think it needs to be that attitude. Like if you want something, you need to go after it and you need to go hard and you need to not worry about what people think.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I think that's important, isn't it? Because a lot of people will be like, oh, it's so much on social media, it's this, it's that. But you're in this position and they're not ultimately. Like you've just got to completely just not care about other people's like outside noise because it's irrelevant when you're the one in this position, isn't it? Like
yeah, and like the sad like reality is so many people hold themselves back from so much because they're worried about what other people think. And like, don't get me wrong, and I know you're in the same boat. Like you do initially think, oh my God, what's that person going to think of me, or what they're going to think? But it like I remember someone once said to me like years ago, their opinions don't pay your bills. And like, it's so true. And I know that sounds quite cocky, but it is true. Like, I can't let what Tom, Dick and Harry are doing, like, not allow me to do what I want to do. Like,
I think ultimately, when you go for something that you're a bit nervous about, a lot of people are actually on your side. Yeah. There's only like 3 or 4 people that might be like, what's she doing? But it doesn't matter. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's you that's got this business and doing what you want to do.
And if people have that much time on their hands to like you know, say stuff or do stuff, or as we know, make fake accounts and like stalk what you do and stuff. Like, that's the sad reality. That's what people do. But if they can do that, like if they really want to do that, that's on them, and like you should just let them get on with it. It says way more about them than it does about you. And,
yeah, for sure.
And this is like what we talk to our clients about it, because this is the struggles they have. Is like they're worried about going to the gym because they're worried what people are going to think, or they're worried about posting something on social media because what their friends are going to say.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I said, like, especially with the gym, like if you actually stand there in the gym and look around at the whole gym, not one person is looking at you. And like I always stare at people in the gym, but I'm staring at them because I think, God, she looks good, or he looks good, or their clothes are nice, or like there's not one part of me that's going, oh God, what are they doing? Like, at all. And like, to the point, to set the scene, I was actually in the gym last night or night before, and a girl fell off the Stairmaster. Oh my God. She owned it, laughed, everyone laughed with her, not at her, and it was like one of those experiences where it was like, do you know what, it's fine. Like, she just fell off the whole Stairmaster, and rather than being like, and like running away, she owned it, and everyone owned it with her, and it was amazing. Like, everyone just supported her in that moment.
I think as well, in the gym, like, is such a good example of where that should be the place you build people up. So I remember, our Monday night call that we do with our clients, this probably was about 9 months ago now, and one of the topics I spoke about was like not to be jealous or not to talk down about someone else. So like when you go into the gym and you see, I don't know, it might be a girl in there and you're like, bloody hell, like she looks amazing, but there's this internal dialogue that's like, oh, fucking hell, like how dare she look like that sort of thing. Course. Instead, it should be flipped, and it should be like, that girl has literally worked her ass off to get to where she is. She has so much discipline. She has so much control of her life to be able to do all of those things. And this is obviously me assuming, but so to speak, you would assume that's what she's done. And like when you can control your mind, and when you take power over your own thoughts in that way, it will have such a positive impact on then how you show up for yourself, because you're viewing other people in that way, and that's where you want people to view you as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's like, once you realise that where you are in your life right now, someone else dreams of being in that position. And it sounds, again, that sounds so like, oh God, but it's so true. Like, the position you're in your life now, Lisa down the street is probably looking at you and going, oh, I wish I looked like that. And like, I do it to myself. Like, I look at my 18-year-old self, like nearly 10 years later, and I think, God, girl, you don't know what you had back then. Like, it's about learning to be happy on your process. And that's what I've always said to myself. Like, yeah, I might not feel the most confident today, but I'm going to be happy because I don't want to let another day go by where I'm feeling like that. Like, there's no point is the bottom line. You're not going to be there when you're 85, maybe even older if you're lucky to, sitting on your deathbed and thinking, oh, I wish I just spoke nicer about myself. Like, you're going to think that. You're going to think, I wish I was nice to myself in my life, because that's all it comes down to, isn't it? Like, it is important.
And I think as well, like, that's where like the fine line comes between like encouraging yourself and holding yourself back, because yes, you obviously aren't going to beat yourself up about it when you're on your deathbed, but don't then let that be the thing that lets you get complacent.
Yeah, of course.
Like, it's like using it, isn't it, to your advantage. So in the moment, enjoy the process. Like,
yeah, and that's a big thing, isn't it?
Like, it's great to be goal driven. It's great to have something in the end, but you're not going to just be happy when you get to a specific day at a specific time. Like, you have to become happy or confident or whatever your goal is along the way, and that will happen as you do the things you need to do.
Yeah, and it's like having, like, I think discipline is really important, because like, people listening probably have this. If you're on like a weight loss journey or weight gain journey, whatever it might be, you'll be surrounded by maybe friends or family, and they're going, here's some chocolate cake, or here's this, and you're saying, no thank you, like, I'm all right. And people make that a big deal as well. So sometimes you can't win, because you're either overindulging and then therefore not getting your results, or you're saying no and your people around you are saying, what are you doing, that's so silly. And that's where you've got to reverse it back to, I'm doing this for me, no one else, and just go with that process and take it as it comes, I guess.
Just on that note about the like chocolate, I had a TikTok the other day. It's so true. Like, since when has it become normal to like normalise a diet full of shit food?
Yeah.
Like, that's the bottom line. Like, why is it such a bad thing, or why are you seen as such a bad quote unquote person when you're sat there with a bowl of, I don't know, like veg and chicken and potato? And I know I always go, oh, we don't eat chicken, rice and broccoli here. We don't. Like, you can make nice meals as such, but why is it a bad thing when you say no to chocolate, but then it's also a bad thing when you eat like a really it's just mad, isn't it? Like
You just can't win.
Yeah, you can't win, and that's unfortunately the battles that everyone has to face. But again, comes back to people's opinions don't pay your bills. Do what you got to do and ignore them.
So someone has asked, sorry, a bit of a silly question, is level up your full-time job and do you still play netball?
So do I still play netball? Yes, I do. Is level up my full-time job? Yes, it is. And it's weird, even like, I know it's cliche, but I don't feel like it's a job. Like, it's just me. Yeah. Like, level up is me, and it's just what I do. It's also your full time.
That's what I do as well.
Yeah. I'm just one of them. Right. Okay. Well, we've kind of answered this, but let's hear your opinion on this. So, biggest piece of advice for someone who's worried about the opinion of others.
I just think just keep doing what you're doing. I think if you're surrounded by the right friends, the right family, other people's opinions just will never touch the sides and never touch the surface. And I know that's easy to say if you're not in the position of, like, I'm quite lucky in that sense. I don't really get that vibe with me at the minute, but I've been in like situations at school and college where people are judging you. And when you're like a young girl, especially, it's hard to navigate life as it is without all of that like external noise, isn't it? But I think just go for it, because like we said earlier, people miss out on so many opportunities by not doing things because they're worried about what other people think. And it's just silly. Like, who cares if you do what you want to do? Like, just do what you want to do, and it's just fine. Like, you just got to go for it. What about you? What would you say?
Just literally tunnel vision. Like, it has to be tunnel vision. And I think it comes with like repetition as well. So like the first time you do it, it's going to be like, oh my God, like what are these people thinking of me? What are they saying, etc. And then the second time you do it, it'll, those thoughts will still be there, but it'll be less prominent. And you just got to keep going.
Yeah, it's a cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's even like, I remember when I was personal training, obviously as personal trainers or online coaches, whatever it might be, you want to record your workouts, don't you, to share on your social media. Even that, I remember the first time I recorded myself at the gym group doing a barbell squat, I could have curled up. Like, I could have curled up because I was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? But then you do it again and again and again. And then ultimately you get people see those videos and then you get business from it. And then you think it's just like a domino effect. Like, it's worth doing, isn't it? Whatever you're holding yourself back from, just do it.
Do you know what's mad as well? Is like, we are in an industry where we help people. And yet we still feel like, oh, I don't know whether to post that because someone's going to judge me. Like, every time we post, every time we say something, every time we show up for ourselves, we are doing it to help other people. Yet we're worried about the opinion of those that have got nothing better to do with their life than drag someone else down. It's just mad, isn't it? It's mad how the brain works. But again, the more you like talk to yourself like that, the more you remind yourself of that, the easier it is to then be like, right, I'm going to do it anyway. And
I think that changes your life as well, the way you speak to yourself when no one's around. Like, and it's like looking in the mirror. If you're looking in the mirror and going, God, you look like shit, or like you're constantly ripping yourself apart. I saw a trend actually go around, you might have seen it, where you put like a picture of yourself when you're like a toddler or something on the mirror, and like you look at that and you would not say to a toddler, God, you're so fat, or God, you look ugly, or you would never speak to yourself like that. So like when you're stood there in the mirror every single morning, there's just you're not getting anything out of that. You're just tearing yourself down, therefore, which will make you feel like insecure. And then when people are judging you in hand, you'll be like, God, they're right. Like, so I think if you build yourself up, when people are judging you, say what? Like, just own it. Like, you're not like what they're making you out to be like, and that's just that, isn't it?
And you can really flip that as well. So when you are having those conversations in the mirror, again, the repetition of, okay, I feel this way about myself. It doesn't mean it's true, but this is how I'm feeling today. What am I going to do about it? Because I'm very much, and like, it's the conversations we'll have with clients is like, okay, you are feeling that way and we don't want you to feel that way, but what are you actually doing about it to not feel that way anymore? Because you can't be annoyed that you feel that way if you're not doing anything to change how you feel.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to talk about quickly. Those who don't know me, I had a baby about 16 months ago. And I think that's where this is really important, because if you've had a baby, you'll know, but if you haven't, then this will help. How when you've just had a baby, you're in the bathroom after, on your own for the first time. And I remember looking at myself in that mirror and thinking, oh my God, what on earth? Like, I struggled, those who know me know that I struggled so much in the postpartum stages with my body, which is so weird for me because those who know me, I'm not self-conscious. I don't care. I honestly don't care what people think about me. I don't care about, obviously I care about what I look like, but I'm not like self-conscious in the way of my body. Whereas when I had cruise, I look back on pictures, we were saying this the other day actually, weren't we? I look back on pictures and I just think, oh my God, like what happened to me? But like ultimately, if you're in the newborn stages right now, postpartum stages, and you hate your body, you have a choice to change it. Like I've lost 5 stone in the past 16 months, and if I could go back to myself 16 months ago, I would never believe it if I said that. You know, you will have time to go to the gym, you will be able to go for runs, you can make good choices. Your life's not over when you have a baby, and there's so many people who, I don't want to say this and cause an abrupt thing, but people say, oh, I've got kids so I can't do it. And it's such a poor excuse. Like, I'm lucky that I've got a partner, obviously, who helps out, and I've got you, I'm able to like go to the gym and stuff, but there's always a way out of it. And when people say, oh, my kids can't go to the gym, like, stop getting your kids in the way of your life, because ultimately, one day your kids are going to be 18, you're going to be there left with, you know, hating your body, hating your life, because you've not done anything about it.
Yeah, and obviously I'm not a mum, but I'm second mum to your child. He's my baby too. Like, just experience, like, from being with you, going through pregnancy and then having cruise, and then like my sister and then our clients, etc. Like, I've never experienced the time constraint and the you know, you're having to look after someone else all the time, but that should also be your reason why you do something.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, because if you don't look after yourself, you can't look after anything else. Like Stephen Bartlett, who is my crush. I knew I'd mention him. I knew I'd drop in him somewhere. He's got this like I don't even know what the word is, but he always talks about like your health is the table. Like if you you can take away, you know, your partner, you could take away your dog, or God forbid, but you know what I mean. Sorry, Ray. Sorry, Ray. Let's not get started on dogs. You can take away those things, but you'd still have everything else. Whereas if you take away your health, you don't have anything, like, at all.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's so important, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people maybe don't realise, and maybe hopefully this is a bit of a trigger to go, this isn't just about how you look in the mirror, this is like inside, what's really going on there.
Yeah, for sure. And I think just on that as well, if you are pregnant right now and you're thinking, God, my life's over, because I honestly thought that, and a lot of people, I speak quite openly about this, how I did grieve my old life quite a lot when I had cruise, because you're sat there all of a sudden with this child thinking, oh my God, I hate my body, I don't know what's going on, I want my old life back, and you miss all of these things. And even like little things for me, like going back to the gym group where obviously like I met Rachel, for those who don't know, and I met my partner there, and I go in there and I feel like, God, me like 5 years ago would not have known what was going to hit her in the next 5 years. But I think it's just going off of that, just your life's not over, like you can still look after yourself. And my life's like a million times better now than it was before cruise, and that's not just because of Chris. Of course, he's a great addition, but I look after myself, like you said just now, like so much better now than what I did before. But yeah, on that, let's move on. What are your struggles with dealing with everyone's emotional burden? It must be tough listening to everyone's problems and trying to help.
It is tough, but it's probably not tough in the way that like people imagine it to be tough. I think, and you'll probably be the same with this, like when you first start out on this job, like you do feel like a counsellor.
Yeah,
like you,
for sure.
You do. And like at first it's like, whoa, oh my God, I'm like taking on these problems now, I'm taking them home with me, and because you build a relationship with someone, so you worry about them.
Yeah, of course.
And like when you're that safe person for them to open up to, so then you feel like you've got a responsibility to help them. And like I still feel that partly, but you also, I think the right answer is I've matured a lot as a person. I've gone through things in my life that can help other people, but also I've matured in a way that I now, if someone presents a problem to me, I want to get the solution.
Yeah, you are a problem solver.
Yeah, I know. I'm a fixer. I try and fix everyone. Yeah, I tried to see the positive in everything, or I tried to see the positive outcome in everything, and put a process in place for them to get there, because it's, you know, it's great that someone confides in us, and I love that people feel comfortable to do that, but unless I can actually give them an answer to help them, they're not gaining anything from talking to me. So I wouldn't, it's not a burden. It's really not a burden. It's part of my job. Like I love what I do, and it's just the fact that over time I've got more experience, I've matured, and I now know okay, how can I get someone from A to B?
And it is just part of the job, isn't it? I feel like when someone's on a journey, like I said earlier, whether that's weight loss, weight gain, muscle gain, whatever it is, everyone comes with a little bit of baggage, and that's just life. And this day and age, people have issues, bigger baggage than others. But some people do struggle, and you can't expect someone to come to you and say, right, well, this would be an ideal world, I suppose. Someone comes to you, I want to lose weight, I've got no issues, no baggage, no problems. It's just not real, is it? Like, that's not, you're probably not, I mean, if you are like that, take my hat off to you, but you're probably not going to find many people who aren't struggling with anything right now. Like, because it's just the way of the world currently, isn't it? It's just how it works.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. What would you say your biggest challenges that you face in your job are?
This is probably a challenge that has been more prominent recently. Showing up, like, regardless. Like, I will always preach, like, do what you got to do. Like, show up regardless of what's going on in your life. But Jesus Christ, like, sometimes you can't. You literally can. And it is a big challenge because I'm so lucky now that I have you, that I have Heather and I have Abby. But God forbid, like, if I don't work, that has a massive impact. So, yeah, I guess this challenge has maybe been overcome, shall we say, quite easily. But a few years ago, it would have been really, really difficult to not be able to take time off. Like, and do you know what? Actually, just think about it. The other thing is, people forget you're a human being.
Yeah.
Like, I might have a business, I might help loads of people change their lives, but I'm also a human.
Yeah.
And I still have emotions, feelings, struggles. Life happens to me. Things go on. And I'm still, like, learning to navigate that as well. Like, I'm learning to help myself whilst I'm helping hundreds of other women.
And I think it's hard in your case because this goes back to people judging you, blah, blah, blah. People will see what you post on social media and it's a lot of your life, like, it's big parts of your life. But people have to remember, you're not posting everything on your social media.
Yeah.
So people are seeing snippets of you and building a picture, and that's fine. But then, like you said, like, life happens, and you're not going to air every single piece of your dirty laundry on social media as much as we would like to. You're not going to do that. And that's where it comes hand in hand with, don't judge someone when you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Because at the end of the day, like you said, unless you've been a business owner, self-employed especially, you don't know how hard it is. You can't just say, see ya, turn my phone off, turn my work laptop off, that's it. Like, cause like you said, if you don't work and you don't help these people, that's your income at the end of the day. And I know that's what you've chosen, but it does come back to that. You don't know every tiny detail of what's going on. Like, you might know what you have for breakfast, lunch and dinner every day, but, like, you don't know what happens in those episodes between that. So I think that's a big thing that is important. That kind of ties into this, actually. What made you choose an online platform rather than face-to-face?
Face-to-face, like, you're limited. You can only help so many people because you've only got so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just knew I had something inside of me that's like, I don't know if I'm born with it, I don't know what it is, but I'm like, I've got a job to do while I'm here, like, and my job is I need to impact and help as many women as possible, and I can't do that on the gym floor. No. My vision, my mission with Level Up is bigger than me. Like, it's way bigger than me, hence why there's 4 of us now, and it's probably way bigger than the 4 of us.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can that even happen on the gym floor? It can't.
No.
And I think as well, like, I love the gym. Like, I love the gym, but I fell out of love with the gym when I was on the gym floor 24/7.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think the thing with when you work on the gym floor, the gym was always my hobby and I loved the gym so much, therefore I went on to become a personal trainer, and that just sucked the life out of me. And like I said earlier, the gym group will always hold a special place in my heart, always. But I don't go back there and think, God, I missed the job. Like, I miss the people. Like, God, we had such a good time, didn't we? Like, the best times ever. But like you said, being online for you is so much more of a potential. Like, it's not just like being on the gym floor. Like, you're so much more than that. And like you said, you can help way more people. And it just works out better for you, doesn't it, at this time?
Yeah. And you can focus on the other parts of it. Like, and this is why I always talk about in social media, like, transform your life isn't your training and the nutrition.
And it isn't an hour in the gym a week, is it? And that's I know, just go on this a minute, I let it ramble. But when people say, like, I can't afford this right now, it's too expensive, but it's always about the money. just think, and you always say this as well, what are you spending your money on? What other things? Because I know for a fact I spend a lot of money in B&M every month, you know? Like, it's all these things that you're not spending money on yourself, but then you want to change. And it's like, make it make sense. Like, just invest money into something and you'll get the return. And that's just like what you've got to think, like, is worth it.
And it's because it's still such a big taboo. Which is like mad, because if you think how many coaches there are, like you go on Instagram and type coach, the list is endless, but it's still this really big thing. And like, you know, I have conversations in the DMs where it's people saying I need to ask my partner or I need to chat with so and so, and it's like, okay, I obviously don't have a partner. Get right. But like if you're sharing money, like I don't get it, but I get it in a sense.
But there's got to be consequences as well. Like me and James, for example, we don't share finances or anything like that, but he goes to golf, plays his golf membership. Therefore, like, I do invest in like only little things, but like the runner subscription and like
B&M,
like, B&M, home bargains, like, you know how it is. No, but if I wanted to sign up to a coach, James would be like, go on. Like, I can't imagine being with someone who's holding me back from anything. Like, and maybe James is too laid back in that way, but we just let each other live life, because at the end of the day we're together, but we're not like glued together. Like, we don't have to like do the same stuff. And there's a lot of people that say that I've got to chat with my partner, or my partner says it's too much money, and like, that's mad to me. Like, I just can't relate at all. It's just mad.
Me neither.
Sadly for you.
Right. When are you getting an honour sponsorship?
Well, that's more for you, I reckon.
When am I getting an honour sponsorship? I don't know. Honour Active. When am I getting my sponsorship?
You should see the wardrobe, honestly, guys.
Yeah, it's bad. It is bad, but
it is really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, good for me, because every so often Rachel says I'm having a clear out, and here I am to collect it all.
She turns up at the door.
What is the thing that keeps you going every day? Also, P.S. I think you're amazing.
Thank you. Thanks, Nat. What's the thing that keeps me going? I just want the best life I can possibly make for myself, for my future family. Like, I don't know. I don't want to settle. I literally don't want to settle. I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to be, oh, why did this happen to me? Or why can't I have that? Because, like, it's my life. I'm in control of it. I'm going to go after exactly what I want. And also, I freaking love what I do. Like, I can't explain it. I don't wake up and think, oh my God, I've got to work today. Like, there's never that.
Not like that. And if you are listening or watching and you don't know Rach, like, you are the hardest worker in the room. Like, you've always been like that. It's like 6:30 and she's on a laptop, and it's Sunday evening and she's on a laptop. And some people might call that a workaholic, but you love it. Like, and you can tell it's not like with some like coaches or other jobs, whatever. You can, like, people go to the job and they're like, oh God, like, just here for the money or whatever. But you're just not like that. Like, you can tell that you love it. Like, you love all the clients. You love everyone that's involved. Like, you can tell. It shows.
Do you know what? I think I'd be lost without like our clients. I sit there and I think, oh my God, if I didn't have like Jill Taylor, special mention, Jilly T messaging me, or do you know what I mean? Like,
it's not just like, I think another thing is it's easy when you're in the sign up process, say, and you say I can't afford it because of X, Y, Z. You're not just joining you and Heather and Abby and me behind the scenes. It's such a community of people, and it's not like any other thing where it's like, I'm just one client, I'm on my own, I'm left to my own devices. This community is so strong now, isn't it? It's such a big, like when we did like the photo shoots and stuff, it's even like that. Like, I did a photo shoot, everyone. And like, I'm not like a photo shoot sort of girl, but everyone in that room hypes you up so much to the point that you're like, oh my God, I am a supermodel. Like, you don't feel like, do you know what I mean? That you don't feel like any certain way around these people. Like, you're not joining something that's cliquey or anything like that. It's like everyone's just ready for you to join, and it's nice.
Yeah.
Is there someone's journey you're particularly proud of being a part of? Obviously everyone, but you've got to pick somebody. Ha ha
ha. Before I pick someone, because like, to be honest, there's so many people that I could be like them. But one of the like highlights that I'm most proud of is when you get that message from anyone, and it's like, I've done this today, or I feel this way, or I can't believe this is me. Like, I don't think you can put a price on that. Like, these messages where someone's life is genuinely changed in a way that they never thought was possible, because a lot of the clients come to us and they're like, I want to lose a stone or I want to squat 80 kilograms or whatever it is, but what they don't realise is what they're actually going to also get alongside that.
Yeah.
So getting those messages is obviously key. One woman, like, and our girls will know her so well, Bridie, like, I'm not going to talk about her journey as such on here, but she's been through like the most unimaginable thing you could ever think of. And the way this woman has transformed her life in 12 months is just absolutely mad. So maybe we'll get her on the podcast. That will be a good idea. Yeah, but like I'm just so proud of everyone. And I'm like, proud's such a weird word and it means different things for different people, but for me it's like when someone does what they didn't think they could do and actually feels great for doing it. Like, it's all well and good me going, oh, well done, like, I'm so proud of you, but it's when they can turn around and go, I'm really proud of myself. That's huge.
Because that's hard. That's a hard thing to, like, saying you're proud of yourself is like a big, like, oh god, like, I made it. Like, that's not a thing that a lot of people say, like, to themselves, is it?
Okay, next couple of questions then.
So this is directly at you, because those who know Rachel again know that she doesn't go to bed that late. Have you ever been awake past 10 p.m?
Yeah, last night actually. Yeah, but very rare, very very rare. And
You've always done that though.
Yeah,
You've
it's just
always gone
me.
to bed so early.
It is me. It's like if someone's like trying to go out, I'm like, are we going out at 5? Because I've got to be in bed by 8.
And have you ever slept in? Because you're an early bird, aren't you?
I am an early bird. I mean, a lie-in for me is like 7 a.m.
Yeah, not like you don't get up late.
No. Even if like I'm tired, I still can't. Like, I'm awake and right, seize the day, get to that laptop.
I also think like before cruise I used to be like I still am like a napper, and like I like to have lie-ins and stuff, but now I've got cruise and I get up early, you realise how much of a day you waste, like when you get up late. And people, again, when I was younger, used to be like, oh, you waste so much of your day sleeping. So true. Like, when I get up and it's like 5:30, it's like 11 o'clock, I'm like, oh my god, I've done everything. Like, it's like, my day's just beginning. Would you like a life-size cutout of Stephen Bartlett for Christmas?
Absolutely. For anyone that doesn't know, he is my crush. Me and Nat have actually been to see him twice.
Yeah, he's so good.
He is like, you just sit there and watch him and just think, how do those words just effortlessly come out of your mouth?
It is crazy.
He's just so like knowledgeable, and obviously he is because he's this really famous person. It is me just giving Stephen Bartlett some credit. Hi, I'm Rachel Solway.
He'll be listening.
Yeah. Stephen, please, if you're watching this, jump on this podcast. If you want to join us, that would be great. But yeah, like I guess like more so just this is how much like development for me is so important, because like as I said, we've been to see him a couple of times, but even just like listening to people like that, and that if you do want to come on, it's fine.
We'll have you.
Yeah, we will have you. I'll make room in my diary. I'll see what I've got. But like having like just listening to other people that do what you want to do, or similar things that you want to do that are going to help and inspire you, is so important. So like this is why I'm filming this, because hopefully like this is inspiring other people to listen to this, and then they can come and become like that person that they want to be.
Like see someone like Stephen Bartlett, he quite literally came from nothing and came from the ground up, didn't he? And I think that's another thing. Like, is it like imposter syndrome? Is that the right thing? Where you honestly feel like, well, that'll never happen to me. Like, and we're such a society of people who like, you have dreams and they just get crushed. Like, you'll say to someone, oh, I'll do this, and they're like, well, you're not gonna. Like, things just feel so unachievable for people.
Yeah.
And then you go and see someone like Stephen, you're like, oh, let me see you. Like, you just feel like you can do it. Like, because if he's done it, and like, all these other like celebrities and like that have come from nothing, it just shows like it's not impossible, because people are literally doing it. It's crazy. So simple, but hopefully it does the job. You've had a really shit few months. We don't know exactly why and don't need to, but you're always such a pillar of strength for us on Level Up. Are you okay? Your positivity and drive is pretty much always on point. How do you keep it that way, even when life happens? Sorry, that's 2.
Am I okay? Yeah. I'm okay. I am not going to cry. It's funny because we read these questions before, didn't we? And I was like, oh my God, this one might get me. But no, I am okay. Do you know what? It's mad. I just think back to like a few weeks ago when, you know, life changed and you obviously were away, weren't you? It was like the worst time. And then I drove to your house a few days later and I literally, like, me and Nat are not huggers. Like, we're the most
We're those
unaffectionate.
people that, like, you always see, like, the TikToks of, like, you don't hug your best friend, you don't, I'm sorry, you don't.
It's like, oh, like, ew, who is that? But, like, I literally just walked into your front door and I just remember I dropped my bags and, like, you just hugged me and we both just broke down and you were like, you're going to be okay. And in that moment, I was like, I was literally like, I'm not going to be fucking okay. That was the first time that I've ever thought, oh my God. Whereas now I can sit here and be like, yeah, I am okay. And like, it's like things, you know, it's just one of those things that you just, unfortunately, stuff still happens and like, you just deal with it as it goes and got to do what you got to do.
And like not letting things ruin you, isn't it? Like you can't, like, because you could have easily been like, oh, sorry, level up. Like, it's not a small thing to carry. Like, it's a big weight to carry, especially when you're helping everybody else. But, like, you can't just stop your life for the sake of somebody else's shit. Like, ultimately, like, you can't let other people doing things to you ruin your whole life, because what's the point? Like,
yeah. It's been a lot, though.
Yeah, and the second part of that, how do you keep it that way even when life happens? Again, because like I want to, like I no matter what happens in life, right, life's going to throw stuff at you, but you can't let those temporary feelings and emotions and situations stop you from what you want to do in the long term. And I would kick myself so much if I lost my business for the sake of someone else's disgusting actions. Like that's the bottom line. And I love what I do. Like, I literally love what I do. It's the thing that keeps me going every single day.
And I think it's also just letting yourself feel it, isn't it? Like, so many people bottle stuff up, and I think it's like, and I feel like you're not great at that, like feeling stuff. Like, not saying you're like an insensitive, like, but you're not great at letting yourself feel things. And I feel like it's so important just to, not me, I cry at everything, but like, you just had to feel it so deeply, as like cliche as it sounds, you had to really feel it, and then
carry on. Like you can't, because you can't just be like,
oh, I'm not doing it anymore. Like,
I remember you and Heather were like, you need to take time off work, and I was like, no. I
was like, you need to take just a week off.
Yeah, I was like, no, and thank God you did, because there's no way I would have even functioned and made any sense to anyone. But yeah, I 100%. I struggle to feel stuff, but I think it's more, I'm almost like on this autopilot. I've got to keep going. Keep going. This has got to be done. Like, I know it's Wednesday. I do this for Level Up and blah, 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 and I find it hard. But like even earlier this week, like, I messaged you, didn't I? And I was like, this, you know, I need to, like, this is how I'm feeling and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, oh, I feel like a victim, but I don't want to be a victim. And you were like, it's okay, like, to be feeling like this.
And I think it's also very important on that to have friends who like do call you out as well, like, because not that nasty, but like it's important to have friends who make you get back up, like, because you can't just dwell forever. Like, what you've been through is terrible, but like what you've got coming is so much better. So it's just having people who are there for you and will go through stuff with you and then carry on. Like, it's just so important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And where do you see Level Up in 5 years from now?
I don't even know, because I didn't think, yeah, it is a big question and we know who that's come from. I didn't think that it would be in this position like 5 years later, but hopefully, not hopefully, we will make it happen. We will definitely make it happen. It will be a very very well-known women's body transformation program, but the really important thing for us is we still keep our community side of things, because yes, obviously we want to go global, take over the world, but I want this to be like, I want everyone to feel part of it. I don't want this to just be a generic online program that you see out there.
And then this is more of a statement, but Level Up to me, and I think most others, is not just a program to lose weight. It's a community where you have brought like-minded women that want to succeed in all aspects of life, not just health and fitness. This person's written an essay, and I will be forever grateful for this friendship that I've got from Level Up. Level Up friends are different, as we all want everyone to exceed and cheer each other on. How did you get from? We've kind of covered that, but PT to Level Up. I think you've said before, if you did a running plan for a half marathon, how many times a week do you run? Love you, or can you guess who I am?
Thanks, Jilly T. Jill, we will let you know about your half marathon plan. So just for perspective, right? Jill Taylor, what a woman.
What an absolute woman.
She turns up to this 10K in June, right? I've written her a running plan, an 8-week running plan for this, and she turns up, brand new trainers, can I add, on that day, and she went, I hadn't done the running plan. I was like, all right, what are we doing then? And she just ran it, and she got sub 1 hour 10K, and she just strolled over the line, like, totally fine. Just incredible woman, absolutely incredible. Final question then.
Have people actually told you to your face that Level Up is a cult, or is that told to you through other people?
I just find it mad. So, like, well, I don't know if I've even said this to you, but I've heard a few people say Level Up's a cult, and I was like, I don't know if that's a positive
What does that even mean?
Well, normally a cult's not a very positive
I'm
thing,
not
but
sure.
like, Level Up's not a cult. Like, we're not out to get anyone. Don't panic. Yeah, but again, it's just opinions of others, isn't it? And if people want to say that, I mean, Level Up, like, is, hopefully I don't even need to say it, like, hopefully people see it on social media and, you know, speak to our clients and stuff, but genuinely, Level Up is, like, the best women's body transformation program, because it's not just about changing your body, like, it's about changing your life. And we have, like, a mission, and, like, it's a commitment. When anyone comes on board, as long as you do the work, we will transform your life. Simple as that.
And you're not just like a number. I think it's important to say, like, because a lot of people might be thinking, oh, there's a lot of girls there, how am I important? Like, you're not just a number in this like scenario at all, and everyone's important as individuals, aren't they? So.
And that's why there's 4 of us now that do it, because obviously the more people that come on board, the more people we need. Like, simple as that. And we can't, I could not on my own do everything.
Oh, you try.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely try. I'd give it a good go. But I couldn't. And like the ideas you come up with, the ideas Hebs and Abby come up with, like, that's why it's so important to me that, like, this isn't just, it's not Rachel Solway Level Up. Like, it's not. Level Up is the brand, and we are all just part of it, and we'll keep building it. So it's not a cult. It's a community of women, and everyone is welcome, as long as you're a nice woman, as long as you want to improve and just, change your life. That's the most important thing. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss another episode.